You've been very vocal about veterans that were just cut on the eve of training camp. Mike Daniels, you just mentioned of the Green Bay Packers being one. What goes into this decision, do you think? Why does it happen
well, if I'm giving the team the benefit of the doubt, and this is hard for me to do in the circumstance, there's some legitimate concern about waiving a player early who has an injury and can make a claim against you. That said, there are ways to communicate with the player and the agent and have a situation where you're not cutting somebody who's been working for the team for all these years, playing so effectively, captain of your team, the night before you're reporting to training camp. And to isolate that decision just in that moment and not think about the repercussions to the rest of your roster, the feelings in the locker room. Every player on that team feels more vulnerable than they did a week ago. This is a really good player, an A-plus personality, captain of the team, and frankly, real world, $8 million is a ton of money. $8 million in the NFL today is not a huge amount of money. And you can't find a way to manage that situation so it feels good for everybody. Because when I was running the Eagles, I had a reputation for being tough. I think people thought tough but fair, hopefully, but tough. But the thought of cutting a player on the eve of reporting to training camp, I can tell you, in the 14 years Andy Reid and I were running the Eagles, that conversation never took place once. There was no circumstance in which we would do that. You may keep a player through the draft. Maybe he can be traded. Maybe there's some other issues, like in this case, he's recovering from an injury. But once you start to get through June and July, and by the way, I understand they were allowed to do what they did, but there's a difference between being allowed to do something and it's the right thing to do. So nobody's questioning. They had the right to do what they did. There's absolutely nothing that limits this. But is it the right thing to do, even from a business perspective? Is it the right thing to do? I mean, for me, that's just an unambiguous no. It's a mistake.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.